Okay, so we got XMR Monero here. It's crossed over this moving average, this daily moving average, so it's considered bullish in my eyes. And yeah, very recently you can see even this daily structure, higher highs, higher lows. The last 3 days, 4 days been super bullish. So yeah, I do think it's going to continue upwards. We got this nice area of liquidity here. That price, tested, broke. Now retested the downside, tested again, and made new highs. So I do think it's a pretty significant area now of safety, and it's currently touching another area of liquidity here. So, but I mean, really strong bull momentum going into it. If we drag this across, we can see it's been respected a few times here. So right at about 160. Price loves whole numbers, so we'll keep that in mind. I'll actually mark it here. 160. That might be, oh, it's actually a little bit higher. Okay, so 160 is what we need to break. We can actually shrink this up a little bit. So this is the zone we're working with. As far as ranges go, I just want to see, so I mean, I don't know how accurate this is, but this says on average it does 37 bucks a month. Last month did 11, month before that was 27, month before that was 15. Yeah, so it's not 37, it's like maybe 20. Maybe 20, 15 to 20, I'd say. So definitely not 30 plus. So it's got to break this zone, and then obviously a break and retest of this area would signal that we're going to go higher, most likely. So that's probably what I would be waiting for. Definitely wouldn't sell it at this zone. There's just too much bull momentum going into it. I mean, this would be a normal area where you would sell from, but just considering the the bullish, the previous days going into it is just way too much. And again, it's above the daily moving average. It's way above the 4-hour moving average. So it wants to break above, I think. So we got this area of liquidity here as support. I'd probably be looking actually for a potential buy if it came back down to this area. This is a pretty big move. Let's see if we consider that weekly time frame. This says it usually does about $10, and last week was 5. Hold on, let's see. No, last week, sorry, was 13. The week before that was 5. The week before that was 11. So yeah, definitely 10's pretty reasonable. So if this is the low for the week, let's say this is our little range marker. I'll draw up here. We got $10 with a range here, so we got to figure out where it's gonna go. So far right now, this is the low for the week right here. So if that continues to be a low, which I don't think it will be, but let's just say it is, 10 bucks of range is all the way up here around 168. So but I do think that it could sell off a little bit here and maybe retest this area, and then before going higher. Or if this area is too tough to break, what could happen is price pulls back and does a complete retrace, at least down to, delete this, at least down to the 38.2 here, which you can see is significant. It's been respected before, right around this area, like respected, broke, then retested. So it might dip back down to a 38.2 to grab some more liquidity. If it really needs, it can come back down to the 50%, 618. There's a ton in here, so that's where a lot of buyers will be hanging out in order to buy this up and continue higher. So that's kind of what we're waiting for, what I'd be waiting for. I just yeah, definitely do not sell this right now, just because just because you see some wicks at this zone. I would not sell that, but I wouldn't necessarily buy it yet. I mean, maybe if it came down to this zone, I mean, you could, like, as far as anticipation and momentum, if you kind of do have this safety zone here. You don't really have any moving averages yet to help you that are significant. Yeah, even the 30 minutes way down here. So I like to set my stop below or above, respectfully, the moving averages, usually the 4-hour, and it's not even close. So yeah, you kind of just be banking on price. Like if you go in and trade now or waited for price to come back down here, I would definitely just wait for price to come back down here. Because like buying it now, you're anticipating that it breaks this zone, and then I mean at some point, like even if it breaks the zone, let's say, we'll use this one, even if it breaks this zone, there's a chance that it pulls back to grab more liquidity, you know, even from here, right? So I would just wait to buy this. Again, it's only Sunday, so it's Sunday night when I'm recording this, so who knows when you'll watch this, but yeah, I'd be waiting for it to break this zone. It's a pretty significant zone. It did sell off a little bit yesterday, granted it's the weekend, but I'd be looking for that, and then yeah, I'd be looking to go higher for sure. I think, you know, I would follow the full weekly range, so you could drag this all the way out to right here. That's your week, and then let's see a little bit more. Right to, yeah, Sunday. So that's your week. This is your range. So, I mean, this might move down a little bit, so therefore you move this down a little bit. And as far as liquidity areas that you could target, I mean, a main one, let's see. Yeah, I mean, really, it's kind of like just the overall top here. This is all pretty tight. Don't really see much on the weekly either, as far as like, it's just, yeah, there's just too much. It's just kind of all like one zone really. So you would just kind of target probably the bottom of it, you know, especially if it's within range. So yeah, range for the week is, you know, about 168-ish, just shy, 167, probably about 167. We'll put that in here. Come on. 167 probably be the weekly target. Yeah, because then it gets a little bit iffy once it hits this zone, but I do think it's going to break this one, so I just wait for that, wait for a little retest, and then enter it. I think that's probably what's most likely to happen. So unless it comes back and pulls back to this area, but yeah, or if it pulls back really deep. So I mean, either you buy it, so you got three options: break above this zone, retest, buy. Price comes down to here, rejects, you buy. Price comes down to here, you buy. So three options. You just got to make sure you got good risk to reward. Make sure you have the right price action. So like a bullish engulfing candle, anytime it pulls back, you want a bullish engulfing candle first at these zones, so that you know that the bulls are back and they want to buy it up. So that's my take on Monero XMR. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.